Hey, everybody. Happy New Year. Happy 2020. It's a brand new decade. How are you feeling? We're 7 days in. Hopefully you don't feel overwhelmed. I talked about that in a recent post. It's getting a lot of engagement. Just one little bitty thing at a time at your pace, okay? Consistently and with excellence. Everybody, I'm so excited that the Culture Suit podcast, the Coaching Corner on LinkedIn Live, will be back next Tuesday, the 14th. New time, 4 p.m. Central, okay? Not lunchtime, 4 p.m. Central. So set your meeting maker to meet me for happy hour, okay? We're going to do that a little bit earlier than rush hour Central so you guys can still be at the very end of your workday or close to it. Put your headphones on and listen, because we actually have an exciting topic for those of you in service industry. Some of you in product, you might be interested in this, but it's about how to get that capital infusion that you're looking for quickly without going into debt. It's not a bad thing to take on debt to grow your business. You can have a banking relationship. You can have investors. There are other ways to do it, but for especially small business owners, you're probably looking for a way to do it and not go into debt, especially if you're in that first 5 years where, some banks won't even look at you, right? I've done it over time, and the fastest way I found to do it is to get more clients quickly, good paying clients quickly. And I'm not the only one. I'm going to bring on a special guest. Of course, he is my client. I call him family. He is also very young. He's 21 years old and a multimillionaire. And he made his first million at 15 years old. But let me tell you, this has been one of his secret sauces all along. He does not take on debt. Yeah, let that sink in. He literally uses client revenue to infuse capital into his business, and to this day, he has zero debt. You don't want to miss this. You don't want to miss it at all, because it's very important. If you can build a business without accumulating debt, do you understand how much of that revenue can go to your employees, to yourself, to the things that matter to building your business? That's what we're going to talk about next Tuesday. How to get more clients fast, the smart way for capital infusion. Okay, so you've got the Thursday show coming up. Today I have the very, very great privilege of speaking to one of my friends from across the pond, Ian Truscott, the editor-in-chief of Rockstar CMO. Look, I met him a couple of years ago. He chased me down a couple of times. I resisted, mainly because I was working at that Fortune 9 and didn't want to get out of line. However, when it was time, I met Ian over email. We haven't quite met by phone. And Ian has just been so awesome to work with. And I met him through Ted Rubin, of course, that marketing genius that we all know from Photify. And Ian's going to come on and talk about what he learned from 5 CMOs as the trends for the next decade. You don't want to miss that. I'm going to throw in my 2 cents too. I missed that article because of the holidays, but I'll get to chime in. You want to meet Ian and his wonderful accent. And shout out to the listeners in London and Great Britain that tune into the Culture Soup podcast. Then the following Thursday, I have a treat for you, especially my sisters, Minda Hartz from the Memo LLC. You've heard about her. She's got this incredible new book that dropped in March called The Memo. And of course, it is to help women of color find their seat at the table. Claim it. Minda and I are sisters in this battle that is ongoing for inclusion and equity for underrepresented groups in business. And we are like-minded. We met over the course of the last year, passed each other on planes several times, actually in Austin together at the Texas Women's Conference and completely missed each other. But we're introduced by email and by word of mouth by a couple of girlfriends. And we've been hanging tight ever since. So you're going to get to meet Minda, and we're going to talk about these issues. And she's going to be at Facebook soon, Facebook headquarters, so look for her. And she's also going to be at Black Enterprise Women of Power. Oh, yeah, that's my big Black Girl Magic hug. I'm telling you, that's a great place to be, and it's going to be in Las Vegas this year. Also coming up, I'm going to have a voice that some of you know, some of you don't, but you should probably know. Dr. Anantha Babali. He just got on a plane to India not long ago. But this is my thesis chairperson. You've heard me talk about him in many of the shows. He is one of the foremost thinkers in journalism and communications when it comes to globalism, multiculturalism, diversity, equity, and inclusion. You don't want to miss this conversation, because when you meet him and listen to him, you're going to say, why have you been hiding this man? He is fire. Okay, so a couple other things that are happening. I want to make sure that I shout out my new cohort members that just joined on as of Monday. I'm not calling them by names because my clients, you know what, that's private. However, I do have a Facebook group that anybody can join. It's the NSC Executive and Business Coaching Facebook group. And that's where all of my clients, all of my mentees, all of the enthusiasts and friends of my business and culture soup and anything leadership oriented gather. And they become a tribe. And let me tell you, they are assassins. I like that word. Beyond killers, they're assassins in small business and also in corporate America, across industries, across the globe, across different companies, all sorts of people. And you know what? They're leaning into each other, and they're learning, and they're growing, and they are becoming rock star leaders. That's what all of this is all about. So anyway, I wanted to mention that. Shout out to my new cohort members. They're joining that community, and also some other cohort members that are continuing. And then I also wanted to mention that group coaching is starting in February. I'm taking groups of 15, up to 15 at a time. So if you're interested in that, coaching@lmichellesmith.com. That's all I got for you. I just wanted to jump on and say hello, let you know that there are plans for next week's show live on Facebook, on LinkedIn, sorry about that, at 4 p.m. Central. And I'm hoping that you are off to a good start. You know, the world is moving very quickly. There are some things that are going on in the world right now. They're a little troubling. So my prayers to you and yours, and for a wonderful and prosperous and abundant new year and new decade. Have a good day. See you online.